What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to ICNVDriversedition. And today, I got a very interesting conversation for you. So, it's kind of windy out here, so bear me if the microphone quality doesn't get that good. But I just left the car event, one of the first Corvette events I attended this year. I was invited out to take a look at what these guys are doing with their Corvettes to start the season out. And honestly, there was some nice cars in attendance, so I'm gonna showcase you the video in a second. But one of the conversation pieces that came up is, since I'm in it, I would say in transition between cars, one of the conversation pieces came up is that we know you're going back to a Corvette. The question is, what are you targeting and what are the must-have options for you? And I think that's a good conversation piece to discuss. So let's talk about what's on my radar or what I'm thinking about when it comes to coming back to a Corvette. But to me, if I was to get a Corvette in 2026, what I feel is the must-have option for the car. Let's talk about it. Since the C8 hit the market in 2020, we are now in 2026, working on the 27 model year, coming up very soon. And honestly, there have been 7 different versions of the C8 that's out there. The C8 has 7 different cars up on their platform. And because of that, we have seen so many different type of build specs for these different cars and what's important, what's not important, what is a must-have option, what's hard to get, what you have to have. And honestly, I've probably built 3 cars total over the entire run. Thought about maybe 5 different versions, but I've really only built 3. And in 2026, I think there is only one option that is a must-have option. But before I get there, let me tell you how this all came about. Well, it was quite windy outside, so I decided to sit inside the vehicle so you can hear me much better and we can discuss this topic. Being at the Corvette event, I ran across a lot of people that I normally see. And what has happened is a lot of people have upgraded. I'm not going to say a lot. There were more C8 Z06s in attendance than there ever have been in the past, which means a lot of people upgraded their cars. There were 3 people there that I know had previous versions of the C8 Corvette. One guy had an E-Ray. He upgraded to a C8 Z06 in his stereo purple. I don't know if I actually got a chance to shoot the car before he left. There was another guy there that had a base Stingray, and he now has that new Roswell green C8 Z06 you saw in the video, or that you will see in the video. And then there was another guy who pulled up who had a white C8 Z06, and he previously had a base C8 as well. Now, like I said, if I'm not sure I captured all the videos or all the cars in attendance because I was on a lot of socializing at this event, but there were about 7 C8 Z06s in attendance today of the C8 platform. And amazingly, there were no E-Rays, which was quite surprising to me because previously in this area at these type of events, I see 2 or 3 E-Rays. And one of the people that owned the E-Ray, like I said before, got a C8 Z06, so he upgraded. Now, the reason why this conversation is actually coming up is because I was sitting down and answering the constant question from multiple people. Where is my Corvette? You really didn't get rid of your Corvette. Okay, what you looking for now? And what do you got to have on your Corvette? Now, that's the focus of this video. In the midst of capturing the content for this video, one of the guys came to me and said, hey, I got on the dealer's list to order a Grand Sport. I was reached out to by a dealer last week to come out and build my car. So I came out and built the car I actually wanted. And overall, for $110,000, I'm not really getting the car I want. And I don't think I want to spend more money. And because of that, he asked me, or he said he watched my video multiple times. And truthfully, he thinks the Grand Sport may not be worth the money. And this is not a Grand Sport not worth the money video, and we're not going to rehash that wound. But ultimately what he sat there and said to me was he built out a 2LZ hardtop convertible Grand Sport. He upgraded to the GT2 seats, engine cover appearance on his convertible. He did change the top color, so the top is all black. I forgot what that was called, but the nacelles and the top is black and the color is different and so forth. He didn't upgrade the wheels. He did go to the shadow interior. He went with the center exhaust, and overall his build spec came out to just under $110,000, and he still didn't get the Z52 package that looked like the C8 Z07 package. So he had no nose lift. It was a couple other things he said he really wanted to get, but the car started getting pricey. And so he just referenced my video and said he watched it multiple times. Then he even showed me a used Corvette C8 06 that had more equipment for less money with, I think, 1,300 miles on it. So I'm like, that was the point of my video. And so I just thought that was funny because we had that conversation. But then he asked me what everybody else been asking me is, if I had to get a car today, what would be the options I must have? And honestly, over the years, the C8 platform has been out. We've seen 5 different cars already, a total of 7 with the new Grand Sport and Grand Sport X coming to the market soon. And I think the only must-have option I really had to have was a HTC. And I had to have a 2LT or 2LZ car option. But if you ask me what is the must-have option for today, what I would sit there and say to you is this. If you look at the Corvette market, one thing about the Corvette community is people always want unique cars, and they want to own cars that will potentially hold value. There's a running joke about every Corvette is a one of one, or owners do something to try to make their cars one of one. And overall, the one of one concept or value holding proposition really only holds up when it comes to unique colors or discontinued colors and color schemes and options. And it really doesn't hold up well initially, meaning within the first 5 to 7 years of the car's build. It typically holds up better once the car is like 10 years old. So yes, there are some C7 Z06s that are like 2016 and 2018 cars because of a certain color combination and spec. And it's not something that you don't like, meaning it's not an ugly color with an ugly interior that somebody was trying to force together. There are actually a certain couple color combinations out there that are 101 builds, kind of like the C8 ZR1 for 2025, that because the model year production run didn't run that long, there are unique cars out there in color combinations you just can't get with that car. So they will truly be 101 or 102 or 1 of 3 builds that will make those cars 5, 7, 10 years from now seem more valuable. And for me, with that concept sticking in place, what I can sit there and say to you is, looking at the Corvette market now and just talking about the C8, everybody wants a C8 that will hold some form of value. And I feel like the way you spec it out matters. So to me, historically, based off what's happened thus far, the C8s that tend to hold more value are the limited edition cars. I was shopping for a Corvette, technically a C7, but the price ranges are starting to intermingle between C7s and C8s. And so I started back looking at C8s. Now, what I will sit there and tell you is, many people don't remember, I think they only made 1,000 cars. And that is of the C8R. I stumbled across the C8R built car. The C8R car right now, when compared to other Corvettes with similar miles, those cars are still running an additional $5,000 to $7,000 more than the normal Corvette equivalent to the same makeup. Part of it's because of its custom interior, and part of it's because it has a numbered Packard plate with it. So it actually represents a true limited edition. I think that is key. So when you look at the Corvette 70th edition cars, the 70th anniversary edition cars are actually doing well on the secondhand market. when you look at equivalent cars when they do pop up, because although there were more anniversary edition cars than there were C8Rs, they are rarely hitting the market space. And we're talking about the true anniversary edition cars. So when you do see the car on the market, it doesn't really sit on the market long. And just so you understand, the base Corvette's anniversary editions in the diamond white color typically are holding $8,000 to $9,000 more than a normal base C8 is selling for. So the anniversary edition of that car compared to its counterparts is still holding value, which is about what the package costs. Now, the carbon flash cars aren't doing so hot, and I think mainly because the carbon flash edition or the color stayed on longer than it should have. When you look at the 70th anniversary edition C8 Z06s, the cars without the Z07 package, but still the anniversary edition in diamond white, most of those cars, when they hit the market, still sell 12 to 15 grand above equivalent 2023 C8 Z06s. But the anniversary editions that hit the marketplace with the Z07 package, and I'll be honest with you, that's a car I've really been targeting. That's a car I would like to own. So I keep checking for those cars. That car is still selling whenever it hits the marketplace $15,000 to almost $17,000 more than any equivalently spec'd car. Being honest with you, sometimes with cars that are higher specs still sell less than this car. So the anniversary edition has really held value. Now, do I expect it to keep that same type of separation as the years go on? I think it's a little excessive right now. It may close the gap by 15 grand, but just the fact it's still doing those type of numbers today says a lot. Now, on the flip side, I guess when it comes back to what I would have to have on a car today, if I was buying a 2026 Chevy Corvette C8, regardless of which car you get out of the 5 options out there, I think the only must-have option is the Stars and Steels 250th American Anniversary Edition car. That is the one car I truly expect out the C8 generation to hold the most value. When you look at the C8R and you look at the Anniversary Edition cars, if you look at what the Stars and Steels represents, you're talking about across the whole platform, there's only supposed to be 250 cars ever made for 2026. When you talk about limited production, it gets no more exclusive than that. So let's talk about that a little bit more. Okay, according to the Chevy Newsroom, the Stars and Steel collection collaborates a key milestone for the country that not only served as the birthplace of our brand, but has also become its home for nearly 115 years. Spanning across 5 vehicles, the collection will feature exclusive special editions and appearance packages across the Corvette lineup, the 2026 Corvette lineup. Supporting veterans and military families, for every Stars and Steel vehicle sold, Chevy will donate $250 to nonprofits that support the veteran community. The Corvette Stars and Steel Limited Edition will be exclusive, run for just 250 total units, and available on all models from the Stingray to ZR1X, offered in a coupe or convertible style on a 3LT or 3LZ trim only. Only the Corvette lineup will be limited to 250 total vehicles. Buyers can choose between Arctic White with a Santorini blue interior or black with an adrenaline red interior. Each limited edition includes an American flag-inspired full-length stripes in satin silver or satin black, and a 250 flag graphic on the door and spoiler ends when properly equipped. Unique steel plates and interior plaques featuring build sequence numbers will be added to the vehicles. Black gloss or carbon flash or available carbon fiber wheels depending on the model. Red accents, edge red calipers, red seat belts, floor mats, and red stitching, and edge red engine cover on select models. Black exhaust tips and select accessories by model. So as you see, when you look at all the historical cars that have been limited edition runs, there has been no Corvette previously with a run like this. So if you're telling me there's going to be a car out there that's going to be one of 250 only, and that's across all Corvette models from the Stingray to the E-Ray to the Z06, ZR1, and ZR1X, with no exact number confining any car to any model, you will truly have a limited edition car. And historically, limited edition Corvettes retain value. So if you ask me, for anybody pursuing a Corvette E-Ray, this is the only way you buy it. Because E-Rays typically don't hold value. But I promise you, compared to every other E-Ray released and on the market, a Stars and Steel E-Ray will hold the most value. If you're looking to purchase a C8 Z06, I would recommend you get a C8 Z06 with the Z07 package and a Stars and Steel limited edition car. This car will retain the most value out of any previous generation C8 Z06 ever built, including the 70th anniversary edition car. And I'm not going to lie to you, as much as I like the cars in black, I believe the white cars will retain the most value. But either way, if there becomes a small amount of black edition cars built, the black car will become the higher desired car because it pretty much doesn't exist. But overall, I don't think you can go wrong with either version of a Stars and Steels car in any color you decide to choose. I would just recommend you max it out to get the most for your money. But then again, even the lower equipped models will do the same. But they will hold more retention value than any other car in the lineup. Now, I have seen a couple Stars and Steels base model Corvettes sold just from looking at YouTube videos. And as much as I like the car, I think that would probably be the only car I traditionally wouldn't desire to own it. To me, this is a special edition package that you want to put on an E-Ray or a C8 Z06, a ZR1 or a ZR1X if you really want your car to be exclusive. And just being in the Corvette community, exclusivity is what everybody is chasing. So to me, the option you should get is the Stars and Steel package. To me, it will retain more return on investment, more ROI than any front nose lift you get, any car that doesn't come standard with the magnetic ride control. This will bring more value to your car. It will bring more value to your car than any Z51 package you throw on it. It will bring more value to your car than any C8 Z07 package you throw on a Z06. So at the end of the day, for 2026, this is the only package I would desire to own. So let me know in the comments below what your thoughts are. Do you think this package is really worth chasing the money? It's a $10,000 option. $9,995 is the option. And you can only put it on a 3LT or a 3LZ car. So you have to spend the money to even get this car. And for most parts, the car was limited to you would have to build or purchase the car from a build spec. But as the numbers dwindled down, GM said they would just push cars out with the package on it to meet the total 250 units that they said they would build. So yes, I've seen one on the market. It was a ZR1, and they were asking a lot of money for it. So off the back, the car is already triggering high demand dollars-wise. But hey, let me know. ICNV Driver Edition. Go ahead, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, join the ICNV Driver Edition community. We are an interactive community, which means if you hit me up on any one of my social media platforms or in the comments below, I'll do my best to respond. And if the topic you bring up is interesting enough, I may even shoot a video on it. Don't forget, we're also a car community of car enthusiasts that love to drive cars to make you turn your head that aren't your everyday people movers. If you're one of those people, go ahead and lock into the channel. We got more interesting content coming your way, and you don't want to miss out. And remember, we were all made in his image and given dominion over the world, which means we weren't just made to be. So chase your dreams, build your visions, never, ever give up. As I ask you, what is a world without hope? We were all given unique gifts to become the best version of us that we can possibly be. So step into your calling, become the blessing to the world that you were meant to be, because it is okay to be unique. You can be the one and not the one at the same time. Just remember to stay humble, stay focused, and stay blessed. And I'll see you in these streets. Peace.